Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dragox55 here, and today we're showing off my penguin deck. Now, this was requested by a friend of mine. I know what your name is, but I'm pretty sure I should not be just saying it out of the blue, so yeah, you know who you are. Unless you want people to know, then go ahead and spam the comments a bit. And please, really do not do that. I was only kidding. So anyways. Today is my penguin deck. This is what I'm using currently as a penguin format. In this game at least. I do have two other deck recipes of penguins. Just, put Dragox55 penguins in the YouTube thing. And you'll be able to see what other things I've done. Of course, they're both not in date to this, so yeah. I do need to update my Dev Pro one because there's a new penguin. I'm not sure what he does though, but whatever. So anyways, let's go on with this. So right now we have two Abyss Soldier. Basically you discard one water and you return one card to the hand. So pretty good. He's basically like a penguin effect, except he doesn't have to be flipped, and he can do it at any turn, or any time per the turn. Whatever, I can't speak English today. One Marshmallow just for stalling purposes, and it's really good because you can flip him back down in this deck, so you can deal like 2,000 damage and 3,000, you know what I mean. Because your opponent, this is what you usually set to get your opponent off guard, so they'll attack, and you're like, okay, whatever, you lose. And flip over, it's like Marshmallow, and like, oh, gosh darn it. So, yeah, pretty good. Pretty Mother Grizzly. I personally like this. It brings out the other things, and you just flip them out, or flip them over with like Book of Moon or Eclipse. This one brings out 1,500 or less water monsters, so pretty much only the penguins are getting a show from Mother Grizzly. One Grand Mole, basically another kind of penguin effect. If you haven't caught on, mine is more of a bounce back to the hand and make your opponent rage kind of deck, so if you aren't into that type of deck, this is probably not the deck for you, but So yeah, you attack, and then this is important. When it says activate effect of Neo-Spatian Grand Mole, that's when you want to click yes, because if you try it any other time, it's just gonna say like the trap card you have face down or something. So that's when you know that exists. And if you're holding B, it will skip over it. So yeah, keep that in mind. Two Nightmare Penguins. Basically, I would play 3, but I don't really want to play 3 because it just seems a little too cloggy to have it in there. Maybe not, but that's just my personal feel. Also, another thing to note, I do not play the normal penguins, like Bolt Penguin, Flying Penguin, and I also don't play Penguin Knight, I think it is, because, I don't know, that's not really my goal of the deck, to just exceed, and then win that way. Mine is really block off your opponent from attacking, bounce everything back, and then attack with like low, weaker monsters, to basically win. It does win a lot of the time, I would have to say. Two Penguin Soldiers. Yeah. You can run 3. It's not a bad idea, but I just think it's really cloggy if I really need my spells or traps. So basically what you do is you set this. Then you activate something like Messenger Piece. So you would go flip, return this, return the other monster, and then you probably set this back down. And you just keep doing that to annoy the crap out of your opponent. Your opponent can't summon like 2 monsters usually, unless they're doing like Cyber Dragon to something, or they're activating like Stellars or something random like that. But that's whatever. This deck actually does really good against spellbooks somehow. I don't know, but personally, you just need to know how to deal with certain decks if you're having trouble with them. So, not to plug anything in here, but you can go ahead and let me know in the comments if you want me to make, like I did in the other decade duels, if you want me to tell you how to get past certain decks if you're having trouble with people playing those. 3 puny penguins. Basically, he's basically the monster reborn for penguins. Also the shallow grave of penguins. The reason I think that you can put him in face-up attack is due to the fact that Great Emperor penguins, and if you want to, Nightmare penguins or Bolt penguins or whatever. But in this case, I'm mostly prone towards getting penguins out, activating their effects, doing what they can, they get destroyed. Use puny penguin, set it flips over, this gets destroyed or sent to the grave. One thing to keep in mind is you set him, you flip him over, and then you attack. Your opponent's like, oh, well, I don't care. They'll either take the damage or they'll like try to blow this up with like something really ridiculous. Keep in mind that it has to hit the grave for the effect to work. So if you get deprisoned, you're not getting any penguins. But that's fine. Your opponent usually will never deprison this in fear of bigger monsters. So yeah, what happens when this card is sent to the grave is you can special summon 1 penguin attack or defense, or face down defense. So basically you put these 2 in face down, then you flip them over, and yeah. Oh, another... Wait, did I just skip over night? Get off me, stupid fly. I forgot about the other thing. Nightmare Penguin boosts all water monsters by 200 that I control, by 200 attack, so. And also his effect, he can bounce back anything my opponent controls, so. Spell, trap, monster, whatever. Thought I'd say that before I forgot about it. So yeah. You bring him back, set him, flip him over, and do some shenanigans. Or even you set this, then you bring this out and set it, your opponent attacks to it and get rid of their field. Or you bring Great Emperor Penguin back for whatever reason, and then you use Nightmare Penguin. Or you bring out 2 Nightmare Penguins and you XYZ into a rank 4. Or you just attack both of them and make rank 4, whatever you want. Great Emperor Penguin. You tribute this card to bring out 2 penguins. Now, I only use him to bring out Nightmare Penguin. And once I have Nightmare Penguin out, I usually just use him to be a beat stick. Because he's pretty much like one of the only strong monsters in the deck. This deck lacks strong monsters, but the XYZs kind of make up for it. So yeah. And you might be thinking, oh, level 5, that's not really that great. Well, because of Legendary Ocean, and you can use like Water Hazard as well, you could bring him out easy and just use his effect. Then you could set, which I kind of debating on using Water Hazard, but I don't think I want to because of how this deck is built. So, yeah. And double summon might work too, but I don't know. I want to remake this deck, but I just don't know how to at the moment. So, yeah, 2 Great Emperor Penguins. Not really that great in attack for a 5-star, but his effect definitely makes up for it, so. Also, if you ever have to tribute this, really never tribute this, unless if like you're in dire need and need something for like game, then go ahead. But just really never tribute summon this, unless if you need to. Like if your opponent does Lava Golem, for example, then that would be a good example of doing that. Or Grinder Golem because they're trying to Inferno Tempest you, or some random stuff like that. So next up is Warrior of Atlantis. You discard him and get a Legendary Ocean. If you already went through him, then you just summon him and he will be a 2100 beater. he is pretty much there to search out Legendary Ocean. I really never summon him, but I do if I feel like I need some more attack boost on the field, or more powerhouse on the field. So one thing to keep in mind, he gets 200. He gets Legendary Ocean, which gives like pretty much everything in the deck other than Grand Mole and Marshmallow a 200 boost. Because Legendary Ocean boosts up all water by 200 attack and defense. Nightmare Penguin does the same thing, except for attack. So basically, you would have 400 if you have both Nightmare Penguins, plus the 200 from this, because you cannot have two field spells out at the same time, so you would have 600 boost for pretty much all your water monsters, which is really good because, you know, you can beat down your opponent, basically. Now, I do have a Solidarity build with this, but that one's being edited. That's my Dev Pro version of it, which that one's pretty fun to use too, but, you know, I still love this deck a lot. It does get plenty of wins for how it plays, for its trolliness. I'll go over what you need to know about the deck after. So, 2 Legendary Ocean, my personal favorite for field spell and whatever. What's it called though? So anyways, so you decrease all water monsters in your hand decrease by 1 level. So everything in your hand is either, or all water monsters in the hand and on the field. Oh, in both players' hand. Okay. Get decreased by 1 level. So a bad thing about this is Atlanteans and Mermails get a bonus. So you need to watch out for that. But wait, is it just all water monsters I control? Oh, no, it's all of them. Okay. So yeah, Warrior of Atlantis monsters and Atlanteans and Mermails. Watch out for those. Those are pretty annoying, and Gishkis. They can be troublesome. But maybe not, because Gishkis need rituals, but I don't know because I don't play Gishkis. I might eventually, but I don't play them now. So let's see. So this would be 3. He'd be level 4, so you can normal summon him normally. If you're planning on doing level or rank 2, I would keep in mind not to play this until after the rank or exceed, because you'll end up being rank 2. And the same thing for him if you want rank 4. You do sometimes XYZ with your penguin, so keep that in mind. 2 Book of Eclipse. I like to flip everything face down and your opponent draws a bunch of cards. It's the downside, which I kind of don't like. But it does flip all your monsters in the face down, so it protects them a lot. Another downside of it though is that Dark Worlds have a great advantage against face down, so keep that in mind. Book of Moon. Flip something face down. Level limit. I have 1 in here for now, but I might switch it to 2. The only reason I have it at 1 is because of the fact that I have Gravity Bind, which does kind of the same thing, except level limit puts him in defense, which is kind of better, but it's whatever. Now, you might be thinking with all my level 4s and whatever, that I would be going minus, but because I'm playing Legendary Ocean, it allows me to get under level limit, so I don't have to worry about that. I explained this in another deck recipe that involves water, but you know. So pretty much I can get under level limit and Gravity Bind because my levels are so low. Another thing to keep in mind about Exceeds is that their ranks, they get under the level limits in Gravity Bind. That's why you can't really rely on level limit or Gravity Bind. You actually have to rely on Messenger Piece, which is why I have 2 of them. I would play 3, but I don't have room and I have to pay a cost. anyways, so I feel like I would go 2 minus. Anyways, monster, so basically anything with 1500 or more attack cannot declare an attack, which is fine because penguins usually don't get more than like 1300 when they're planning on attacking anyways. He gets like to 1150. So yeah, this basically will stop your XYZ problem for a while. But don't count on it all the time to stop everything, so make sure you build up a good defense and don't leave anything to luck unless if that's pretty much the only thing you can do. Anyways, 2 MST back row, 1 day apiece to prevent damage, 2 pod duality to draw or get something from the deck. You don't really special summon in the deck other than Puny Penguin and Great Emperor, so yeah, that's a thing to keep in mind. Don't worry if you can't special summon. Exceeds are your backup just in case if you need them. They're not the only way to win with this deck, so because I wanted to make the deck where it's not reliant on XYZs, but you know, I wanted to have the option of going into something if I needed to. So that's why they're there. Because I feel like too many decks are reliant on XYZs nowadays. Especially with the pendulum monsters out. Not in here, but the pendulum monsters. So seeing decks that don't need to rely on XYZs are really fun. As compared to ones that do need to rely on them. That's why I have like a hard time enjoying like Fire Fist and whatever, because you know they just rely on XYZs and it just, I don't know, XYZs are a little too game breaking for me. And you know, I mean, I have them in here, but I rarely go into them unless if I need to. So 2 salvage, just get 2 water monsters back with 1500 or less. So if you can't draw into Puny, you can get your penguin soldiers, nightmare penguins, or even get puny penguins back. I mean, you don't go minus, you activate this, get like 2 puny penguins. These get destroyed again, you can set this and then get them back, like one of them back. So, you know, it's not minus, you're actually going pretty plus there. This card, since Capulse is at 1, I like to run 2 of them. It's something I kind of want to take out because it kind of makes you go minus, but at the same time. But basically what it does is you choose 1 monster of yours and your opponent chooses 1 monster of theirs, and they return the cards of the deck. But basically this is just to get rid of stuff in case of an emergency. This card, because it bounces stuff back. Keep in mind with penguins, I like stuff that bounces stuff back to the hand. So compulsory evacuation device, number 1 necessity to the deck. Gravity Bind, level 4 hires can't attack, which is good. It stops like a bunch of decks from just wrecking field. Not really though, but it's whatever. Because of the XYZs, that's the only reason I'm saying that it kinda does and kinda doesn't. Messenger piece is probably your go-to card, but level limit and gravity bind will make it harder for them. 1 Mirror Force destroys opponent's monsters, and 1 Solemn Warning to negate a summon. 2 Emerald to recycle a deck to Gachi just because. And plus the 400 bonus is pretty nice. Gaga Cowboy, I recommend running this in every deck. I know it's kind of like just a cheap thing and it's really annoying when you lose to something like this, but you know, at least it's not Dark Strike. So 1 Misstroke. It does flip stuff face down, so it's pretty good. Leviathan, whatever. I just put in like random XYZs. Black Ship of Corn I recommend also because of this fact that Marshmallons and Spirit Reapers are a thing. And this just gets rid of them right away, so you don't have to sit there dealing with it all day. 1 Slacker for Peony Penguin XYZ, of course. Also, Penguin Soldier with Legendary Ocean. Another thing to keep in mind is when Legendary Ocean is activated and it's on the field, and your monsters become like level 3. Like this one, for example, would become level 3 if Legendary Ocean's on the field. Which then makes it so you can exceed into a rank 3 with this and this, because they're level lowered, so which gives you access to the rank 3s. So keep that in mind that you can actually do that if you activate Legendary Ocean. So if you're like, darn, I want to make a Zen mains to actually protect my life points, but all I have is level 4s, just do Legendary Ocean and you'll get the chance to make Zen mains. But, you know. Where am I? Snowdust Giant. He's pretty good. I don't really make him though. And basically what you do is you detach one and you reveal any water monsters, any number of water monsters in your hand. Now the reason it says any number is because you don't want to always reveal your hand, but if your opponent already knows you're playing penguins, by all means go, hey, I have like 20 penguins in my hand. And place ice counters on face-up monsters on the field. Non-waters lose 200 attack for each ice counter on the field. So basically it's kind of like aliens when they have 8 counters and then the alien attacks them, their attack goes down by 300. But this one, it doesn't need to have the counters on the monsters. You just put all the counters on this boy, and let's see, let's just look at this for a little bit. You have like 5, your max hand is usually 6. Usually you'll have 5 at most. 4, maybe 4 cards at most, because when you're playing usually you'll set something, so you'll mostly have like 4 cards, unless if you go like set crazy, which you can do, but you know, just be careful or whatever. Heavy Storm is not a thing, but you just need to be careful. So yeah, so let's say you have like 5 water monsters. You're basically you reveal all those water monsters, you put some ice counters on this guy, you're like, okay, well you're not playing a water deck, so you lose 1,000 attack points for each one of your monsters. If you think that's bad, then you're crazy. That is like, it's not OP, but it's really, really good, considering it doesn't say they lose attack based on level, they lose attack based on counters. So even Exceeds cannot deal with this too much. Black Ship of Corn is 100 points too weak to take care of it. A stroke might be a problem, so be careful about that, because counters do go away if they're flipped face down. So yeah, I only have one of them. I might rank him up 3 because he's not too bad. 2 Zen mains because he's Zen mains, and wind up Zen Master or Zen Meister or whatever. Basically what he does is he gains 300 for each material, who cares. You can detach one and change one of your face ups to face down and flip it at the end phase, of course. So what I like about that is pretty much my favorite out of the rank 4s. You can put Utopia in if you want, or anything rank 4-ish, like Flappy or whatever his name is. Photon Operative, there you go, that works a little better thing. But I really like it because you just make this, and then you have like a penguin, you flip it face down, you flip it over, and then it's like boom, take out another one of your opponent's cards. Then you attack with this, and you like wreck field. Not to mention, you can activate the effect. It doesn't say you can't switch your monsters. It says it switches them at the end phase though. So what you do is you flip over your monster as soon as you activate that effect. Same thing for like Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, because the rules are as follows when it comes to flipping a monster, which you guys should keep in mind when you're playing penguins. If you activate a card effect on a monster to flip it face down, if it has been normal summoned, and then flip face down, you cannot flip it. If it's been special summoned, it cannot be flipped if it was flipped face down when it was special summoned. If it attacks and it goes face down, you can't flip it. You can only flip the monster if it's been on the field for one turn after it's summoned. And if you haven't already changed its battle position that turn. And if you haven't attacked. So that's some good things to keep in mind, guys. So I summon Nightmare Penguin. I leave it at that. Next thing you know, I actually book a moon, flip him face down. Now since he's already on the field, I would flip him back face up to activate his effect. I can do that because he's been on the field for one turn after his summon. Most people don't understand the fact of that, and you know, if you do, I'm not really talking to you then. I'm talking about to the people that don't understand the fact that they special summon something and then they're like, oh well, I'm gonna just change battle position, which they can't. When you summon the card, you can't change battle position. Once you change it once, you can't change battle position. So keep it in mind. So once you use the effect and then you flip over Nightmare Penguin, you can't go book a moon and then say, oh, I'll flip Nightmare Penguin again. Or actually, maybe you can. Okay, here's the exception. You can activate this effect to put him face down. Then you flip it over. Then you activate book a moon to set this, and then this effect would automatically flip him face up because it says change that face up. No, it says during the end phase change it to face up attack. So basically, by the rules of this, it would be flipped face up again. Sorry, this video is a little longer, but in that case, you flip back up. So yeah, that would work. I'm just saying in general, guys. Like if you book a moon and then you flip it over, and then you book of Eclipse, you can't flip it back over. I hope that explains enough. As for my side deck, Maria Greeds, Shuffle 2 Waters, and draw 3. 1 level limit if you need it. This card, I was gonna put 3 of them in the extra deck, but apparently if you have one of these, you can only have one of these if you have 2 Legendary Oceans, because of the name being treated as Umi. So you can't run like 3 Umis, 3 Legendary Oceans, 3 whatever, so keep that in mind. That's like the same thing for Heartbeat Ladies, from what I remember. And then there was like another monster. I don't remember what's. Is that one? With 1800 or no, that's not the one. There was another one with 0 attack. Hold on. Where is the attack? 0 attack. And then let me get to the ends. I'm pretty sure it was an N. Because I didn't know this card exists. It's really good, actually. Alright, I'm gonna go from. Oh, wait, I have to go through those boring cards. Where are you? I know you're in here. Get off of me, fly! Stupid fly flying around. It's really annoying. Anyways, where is it? Why can I not find this card? Okay, I have to search for a. Oh wait, no, it'd be under type. And then they're all aquas. I put 0 through 1,000. Oh, that's why. Oh, there it is. Finally, it started with T, not an N. Basically, what this does is it stops like pretty much every XYZ, pretty much, that your opponent will probably bring out. So your opponent will really resort to like Cowboy and Cowboy, because this card pretty much stops Draco Static's Big Eyes. It stops pretty much anything with 1800 or more attacks. So if you want to side that in, it's really good. The only downside is your opponent can attack over it really quickly. so be careful about that. But once you get that under control, then they're like, okay. I want to look at the other card real quick before I close up here. Where I know you're Aqua. There's no way that thing's not Aqua. Is it not an Aqua? Great. Whatever. I know where to find it. Where are you? Gosh darn it. Penguin. This video is getting too long. So sorry, guys. Where are you? Oh, I passed it. That's what happened. I know you have the car. Where is it? No. Did someone summon on me? Is that what it was? Whatever. This video is going to be too long because I can't ever find the card I've been looking for. If you guys want to stop watching, then that's fine. I pretty much explained a lot of things about what you need to. Why can't I not find about the deck that you needed to know? So, you know, that's pretty much like that. I don't know why I cannot find this card. I found it easy like last time, but whatever. Okay, so anyways, one last thing you need to know about this deck. This deck is really good. It basically can get an 8 out of 10 if I wanted to. But one things you really need to watch out for are stuff that vanishes, like the face down, obviously BLS. Tiramisu might wreck you. Water-based decks are pretty much something to watch out for. Dragon rollers can get very annoying when dealing with them and with this deck. Because they just make Draco Sack, and Draco Sack does nasty things. Other things. There was something else. Oh, so penguin decks, your basic thing of playing is you play them by surprise. Your opponent doesn't know. Well, this penguin deck, I like to play it this way. I like to play it if my opponent's not suspecting it, and then my opponent's like, oh snap, what is this? How do I deal with this deck? Because no one plays penguins really. There are people who do, but no one really plays penguins, so they don't know how to deal with penguins. And that's what gets you the wins. Because if they don't know how to deal with the deck, and you're doing stuff that they can't comprehend, and they're like in a stun thing where like, oh, well, you have Penguin Soldier. Well, I want to summon this guy. And then you're bringing out something like Great Emperor Penguin, punching him in the face with it. You know. It's all about surprise. It's pretty much that, you know. It's not a competitive deck by any means. I want it to be, but right now it's not. But, you know. Maybe in the future. So, yeah. So, tell me what you thought of the deck. Did you enjoy the deck? Did you not enjoy the deck? Did you like my brief description about it? Did you not? What would you change? What would you keep? What would you rate it yourself? Yeah, and sorry again that the video's long. I didn't intend it to be that long. Still trying to get used to the YouTube thing again, because I haven't done it in a while. And this deck has a lot of explaining compared to like something like Fire Fist, where it's like, oh, you just summon 10 key and then you bring out Bear and then you go, aha, I win, or something. Alright guys, I'll catch you later. Make sure you leave your comments and requests in the comment section down below. See you guys later.